What about an agency that willingly puts a remote operator at risk? As we commented before, we do not want the general public to see where we're operating. It's okay for law enforcement and those with the need to know, but the general public is where we draw the line. On our end, as a pilot, we're always held to the federal aviation regulation. No person may operate an aircraft in a careless or reckless manner so as to endanger the life or property of another. That's FAR 9113 under careless or reckless operation. What about an agency that knowingly puts remote operators at risk? The legal description for this is negligence, and by implementation of remote ID with the known risks to remote operators, and by this, the clear definition is careless operation. And that is what they're subjecting remote operators to, even though they've had numerous credible warnings in the comments. How can you sue the government? I'd like to make a proposal that we contact freedom organizations such as the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty to file on our behalf. There are several other dedicated organizations that are dedicated to fighting federal overreach. There are special steps that you must take when you wish to pursue a claim against the federal or state agency. For example, under the Federal Tort Claims Act, the FTCA, you must file first through an administrative claims process before you go to court. This means you must submit a claim directly to the government agency and provide a chance for that agency to respond. If the agency admits your claim, you may be offered a sum of money to settle. You can choose to accept that sum or file a lawsuit within 6 months of receiving a decision from that agency. The reason I mentioned the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, they've taken up a number of causes against government overreach. They just had a victory in an ATF overreach situation with pistol braces, and right now there's an injunction they were one of the named plaintiffs on making that injunction happen. But they've had a number of other victories both within Wisconsin and on a national level. It seems like they would be a particularly good fit to our cause. I asked, how do we fight this? I know that there are attorneys that post YouTube videos on drones. I know that in the firearms world there are organizations such as the Firearms Coalition, Gun Owners of America, that fight for the rights for the Second Amendment issues. What organizations do we have? What organizations can we create? I'm asking for ideas from the attorneys, from other drone operators. I'm a very small player in this world, and we're up against some very mighty forces with big corporations, the military-industrial complex, and some other forces that are all pretty much represented out there by the Commercial Drone Alliance, and they're not our friends. If you get on their website and read what they're up to, they really have an airspace grab going.